members of the governing council of this university, the 14th governing council. I can see my friend who is just back from the MBA conference, Barrister Adata Bio Briggs. You are welcome. Sir Israel Ebunefu, also welcome. The Provost, College of Medical Sciences. You are wearing so many caps. Provost, College of Medical Sciences, Chairman, Committee of Provosts and Deans, member of the Governing Council, and Chairman, Committee of Provosts of Nigerian Colleges of Medicine in the country. We welcome you, sir. Let me also, in a special way, welcome another member of the Governing Council, my sister, Professor Emilia Jaja, heads of campuses that are here. The man we are honoring is also one of you, and I'm sure that's that shows that we are all flowing with him. Deans of faculties, heads of departments, directors, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. In a very special way, let me recognize the man that has brought all of us here, Professor Christopher Ahiakwo. Beside him is the chairman of the University Lectures Committee, Professor N.H. Ukoima, and we also have the University Orator, Professor Isaac Zep Obipi, and the Dean, the man that has chaired Faculty of Engineering meetings, board meetings, and the man that took over, I think you took over from him, from Professor Christopher Ahiakwo as Dean, Faculty of Engineering. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, today is a very special day for us because one of us to share his experiences with us and to see how we can chart the way forward to ensure that the university system continues to thrive, to ensure that we continue to play the role that we are supposed to play as teachers in the university. The title of his presentation is The Contrasting Parts of Teacher Candor and Teacher Fire. I don't know which one is teacher candor, which one is teacher fire. So we say the fire today. The only thing I know about fire is that the man is a professor of electrical engineering. So maybe that's why fire is there, but I know it's not talking about that one. So we're going to hear him today, and I have the assurance that with his years of experience in the university system, we're going to benefit from what he's going to say today. I recall vividly that when Professor Songo Teme gave his valedictory lecture in this university, he also drew attention to a number of things, what we can do to improve on the university system. And I know that today we're also going to benefit, have a different perspective from Professor Christopher Ahiakwo, who has served this university and also served in other places. He has also served as rector of Federal, I think, Polytechnic, Ekowe in Bayelsa State. And of course, at the time, he also served in Niger Delta University. So we're going to benefit from his wealth of experience in these places of higher education and learning and see how we can utilize some of the experiences he's going to share with us today for the benefit of the university system as a whole. So, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I'd just like to urge you to sit behind, listen carefully as we welcome this lecturer who has done so much for Faculty of Engineering. I recall vividly when he was Dean Faculty of Engineering that we were able to establish and structure the faculty in such a way that today we are proud of Faculty of Engineering, and in particular a program like computer science that was denied accreditation, computer engineering. We made sure that that program was re-accredited, and today we have the Department of Computer Engineering functioning in the university. So, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let us put our hands together as we listen to this distinguished professor and welcome again. We are hoping that some of those that will also retire later or sometime next year will also deem it necessary to think about sharing their wealth of experience with us so that we can continue to benefit from their wealth of experience. Thank you, and God bless all of us.
The Vice Chancellor, sir, let me now invite the University Orator, Professor Isaac Zebo, BP, to do a citation on the valedictory lecturer.
The Vice Chancellor, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Engineer Professor Christopher Okwuchukwu Ahiakwo was born to the family of late Chief Isaiah Ogribe Ahiakwo, the Eze Udo I of Oberland, and Mrs. Jeremiah Boku Ahiakwo Ni Oneta, all of who become in Oba Egbema and local government area of River State. He had his primary education at St. Philip's Primary School, Obricom, and St. Michael's Primary School, Omoko. He started his secondary school career in Santa Maria High School, Omoko, but could not continue due to the Civil War of 1967 to 1970. With the help of his primary school headmaster, late Chief Gilbert Osai, he continued his education in Western Awoda County High School, Awoda, in 1969. While in Western Awoda County High School, he developed interest for engineering, even though the school, being a wartime school, had no teacher for additional pure mathematics. Engineering in those days was synonymous with mathematics, physics. He read it and included it in his WAEC and GCE in 1972 and 1974, respectively, in flying colors. His love for the engineering profession propelled him to enroll at Baptist High School, higher school certificate, where he enrolled for maths and physics. With the establishment of College of Science, he withdrew from the HSC program for his desired course in the then River State College of Science and Technology, Port Harcourt, now River State University, where he graduated with a higher diploma in technology, electrical engineering, in 1979. His NYC, he was employed in November 1981 as one of the pioneer staff of the electrical engineering department. He was among the first and set of students of this university that did pre-M degree program and M.Tech degree in electrical engineering in 1997. Subsequently, in 2001, he obtained a PhD degree in electrical power engineering. Having been registered as an engineer by the Council for Regulation of Engineering in Nigeria, Kuren, and with a PhD, he converted to academics. In October 2003, he was appointed acting head of Department, Electrical Engineering, and in the following year, he was promoted to the rank of senior lecturer. He served as acting head of Electrical Engineering for 6 academic years. He was later appointed acting director, Student Industrial Works Experience Scheme, from 2009 to 2014. He left the university in 2014 during the ASU strike for Niger Delta University, Bayelsa State, where he was promoted, appointed a professor of electric power system and renewable energy. His contributions in the Niger Delta University in 2015 attracted attention that earned him a federal appointment as acting rector of Federal Polytechnic Ekowe in Bayelsa State. Engineer Professor Ahiakwo is a fellow of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, fellow of Nigerian Institute of Electrical and Electronic Engineers, fellow of Nigerian Association of Technological Engineers, and member South Africa Mathematics Association. He has served the Nigerian Society of Engineers in various capacities, including being the chief examiner, vice chairman, and chairman of Omoko branch. He has also served the Port Harcourt branch of the society as secretary of NSE PH Limited, a consultancy firm owned by the Nigerian Society of Engineers, Port Harcourt, from 2010 to 2012. His contributions include his work on the unbundling of the Nigeria Power Supply Network at PhD level that is being implemented today, leading the team that designed the electric power network of Okrika communities in Rivers State in 1982. Consulting for Nigeria Jeep Oil Company, where he introduced the use of indoor substation by Nigeria Oil Company for oil-bearing communities in Rivers State. Serving as member of the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Committee Forum, Port Harcourt, 2016 to 2020, and being the first professor of electrical engineering in the old Rivers State University, in the old Rivers State, present Rivers State and Bayelsa State. His contribution also includes serving as Dean, Faculty of Engineering, Rivers State University, Port Harcourt, for 2 tenures, and being the pioneer head of Ahoda campus of the Rivers State University. He is an elder in his church in Port Harcourt, Evangelical Church Winning All, and a lay reader and a Knight of St. Christopher in the Anglican Communion of the Diocese of Ahoda. He is a committed Christian, deeply involved in spreading the gospel through the Gideon's International and Full Gospel Businessmen Fellowship International Ministries. Engineer Professor Christopher Okwuchukwu Ahiakwo is happily married to a lovely wife, Lady Roslyn Ego Ahiakwo Ni Obuga. Their marriage is blessed with 5 children, 3 boys and 2 girls, and 12 grandchildren. That's a football team, more than one. VC, sir, this good ladies and gentlemen, please join me as I welcome to present the 2nd inaugural lecture, a self-propeller, a lover of the engineering profession, a power professor, a renowned professional, a scholar administrator, a blessed and happy grandfather, Professor Christopher Ahiakwo.
Vice Chancellor, sir, I don't know where to start, but I will have to start right now. It is a pleasure and honor to be in your midst this afternoon. And before I start, I want to recognize the following persons who have just come in. I have here His Royal Highness Eze C.U. Nkisa, the paramount ruler of my community. Please stand to them. I also have here a mother, a woman that joined the husband to mentor me. Dr. Mrs. Eunice Isirima, stand up for recognition. I also have here one of my colleagues who were friends right from the College of Science and Technology days, and he has never lost focus. He is Engineer Danami Etire. Are you here? I also have here one of my great in-laws that have been my pillar, Engineer and Dr. Mrs. B.E. Ujum. If you are here, let us see. I have here the founding fathers of Gideon's International in Rivers State that brought me to the Gideons. Thank God that they are here. Professor and Professor Mrs. Bosa Okoli, please. I have here also an honorable member representing my constituency and in fact my own village that is here, Honorable Nathaniel Waji. Can we see you? My venerable, the shepherd in my village that is keeping the spiritual life of my community, at a very high level. Venerable Innocent to see, he is also here. I also have my chief, Chief Emeka Okoroma, is my company chief. I think I saw him walking in here. Okay. Then I have a chief that is my close friend that we started from primary school, Chief Sunday I.A. Ajoko. If you are here, let us. Ladies and gentlemen, my Vice Chancellor, sir, Professor Nlerum S.N. Okubule DSS ROS. I know Her Excellency will be here, but when she comes, she will be recognized. Members of the Governing Council that are here, I recognize you all. The Deputy Vice Chancellor Administration, Professor Victor A. Akwuchukwu. The Deputy Vice Chancellor Academics, Professor Valentine B. Ombo-Pepo. The Acting Registrar and Secretary to Senate and the Council, Mrs. I.B.S. Harry. The former Vice Chancellors, former Deputy Vice Chancellors, emeritus professors that are here, former registrar, heads of various campuses, the provost of College of Medicine, the dean of postgraduate school, both former and present, deans of faculties, directors of institutes and centers, heads of department, units, distinguished professors and members of Senate. My Lord, the spiritual, the ministers of the gospel that are here, the royal majesties and the highnesses that are here, the academic children that is known as Professor Christopher Ahiakwo academic children that are here, the valedictory lecture and book launch committee that package what we are seeing today. I want to specially recognize the book reviewer, Vice Chancellor, sir. What I'm doing today is of two phases. The first phase is this valedictory lecture. The second phase is the book launch. And I have here to review the book Engineer Professor Emmanuel M. Adigo, the Vice Chancellor of Maritime University, Okorikoko in Delta State. The staff or students of our great university, members of Obricom Improvement Union that are here, and in fact the Obricom community that are here, all invited guests, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen. It is with profound gratitude and immense joy that I stand before you on this momentous occasion of my valedictory lecture. Today marks a very significant milestone in my academic journey, as I am the first professor of electrical power and renewable energy in the Old River State. I am deeply honored and humbled by your presence. First and foremost, I must express my deepest gratitude to God Almighty. It is through His boundless grace and unerring guidance that we are gathered here today. His divine providence has brought us to this day, and for that I am most grateful to Him. Today, I wish to share with you a metaphor that has guided me, not only my personal life, but the journey through life. The metaphor is simple. Simply states the contracting paths of teacher candle and teacher fire. The Vice Chancellor has just mentioned that maybe I'm coming from the angle of electrical engineering. It is both, but I am coming from the angle of our relationship with the students we teach, so as to improve the teaching environment and the society. Teacher candle, as you know, the candle burns steadily, melts away bit by bit. So is a teacher candle. So as a teacher candle, yeah, you can see what is there now. The teacher candle, like the candle, you can see the candle bit by bit. So it's a teacher candle. The teacher candle loses his strength, time, his resources to make sure that he will impart knowledge to his students. And that is what is expected of us in an Ivory Tower like this. See, I was fortunate to be brought up by expatriates in the College of Science and some good indigenous lecturers. They were good. They were friendly with us. And they made sure they imparted their words of wisdom in us. And it was then that I embalmed this knowledge of teacher candle. And I can see there are some of them today, some are not living again. You can see Professor Simeon Achinehu was one of them. My late mentor, Professor Nemeka Isirima, was one of them. Professor Steve Ojowe was one of them. Professor Melike Nwami was one of them. It's one of them, not was again. It's one of them. And ABPM, in fact, ABPM will tell us, see, I'm like the owner of a farm. I will give you a knife and show you my farm to go and cut. Go and cut and plant. What that means is that he will teach us, after teaching us, he will prepare materials and give us free of charge. So I don't see myself now, after enjoying that, I now come to my students, I prepare the lecture materials and ask them to pay. It doesn't tally. And that is why I say I have to call this teacher candle and teacher fire. If you are a lecturer, that prepares materials and expects students to pay you for those materials, I don't need to call you whom you are. Throughout my stay in this university, I have never sold handouts. Neither have I sold any textbook. In fact, the textbook I wrote with a friend, Energy Waste in Nigeria, is still with my HOD. I told them that we gave them to the HOD, that they will find a way of putting it in the library to sell to students. Whether they have sold it today or not, I don't know. But we have just assembled that because it's not only for students. It's not students' coursework. It is a knowledge-based textbook. The next slide. Okay. Unlike, yes, I've told you about how the philosophy of nurturing students came about, how the philosophy of this teacher candle came about. Next slide. If you see the, okay, come back to that slide. If you see this man with his candle, you can see the attraction he has drawn to the students because of the interest he has made them, because of the patience he has and is prepared to impart his wisdom unto them. So you can see them gathering him, listening to him. So, like I said before, because of what I gathered from the CST days, I think thank God that Etire is here with us. We all knew how the expatriate lecturers handled us. And after getting that training, it was easy for me to introduce it to this university when I was employed in 1981. I discharged my duty, next slide. I discharged my duties diligently. In fact, there are situations whereby then I was in the lab. Lab manuals, I will prepare, make photocopies for those who genuinely forgot to come with their lab materials. And I will set the lab and make sure that they do the right thing. Now, even when I was meant to be teaching, like I said, I thought by going to the library, get materials, photocopy them. That time there was no, this internet was not there. But it was by photocopy. After photocopy, I will give them to photocopy and return the original to me. Next slide. Okay. Now, the benefit of doing that. First of all, to the student. The student will benefit from your teaching if you teach them with love. If you make them your friend, teach them in such a way that they will not be afraid of you, but they will be interested in coming to you, even in your spare time, to ask questions. Besides that, you also have favor. There is this possibility of payback. And I tell you that if you are a teacher candle, teaching well, not extorting, not selling grades for money, not writing projects for money, it has a payback. My son was to go to UK. He went to bank. He met a lady in the bank. After introducing himself to the lady said, are you the son of Christopher Ahiakwo? My son said, yes. It's okay. Go. This lady prepared the statement of account that my son took to Abuja the next day and got the visa. That did not end there. My journey to Bayelsa State, I was in Enugu for Nigeria in Society's conference. We were there when the call came. Ahiakwo, do you know that NDU have advertised? Please, 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 apply now. I hurriedly left Enugu and came down to Port Harcourt and passed my credentials and sent NDU. Who did that? A student that I taught here. The end story is my being pronounced a professor. That I worked as a federal appointee, a rector of a federal polytechnic. I have never played politics. Engineer Odubo, are you here? Okay, that's young man. He was one of our students. In fact, he was calling me when I was in Bayelsa. I thought he was 419. He now said, don't you know the person you supervise in so and so project? I refuse to understand. He now mentioned the topics I photocopied and gave him. It was when he mentioned those topics that I gave him that I now know, oh, this guy is not a 419. Oh. It was then I told him where I was at Yanagua. Is Professor Boropai here? Okay. So it is then he asked for my CV. What he did with the CV, I don't know. The end result is that I became a rector of a federal polytechnic. Next slide. So, what that means, a candle teacher candle, has a reward that is synonymous with the adage that says that teacher's reward is in heaven. But it is not so with the teacher fire. There's a professor here in our midst who we are discussing with other professors. And one of the professors was counting his experience with his former students. And he told us that he was at the airport, that his students saw him at the airport and hid their faces. Then one of the professors that was with us said, that very day in the same airport, one of my students saw me and decided to pay back my flight ticket. What does that translate? Teacher, candle, and teacher. So which one would you like to be? Lecturers that are here. Teacher candle. Next slide. You see the strategies of teacher candles. They apply so many times. In this university, there are laws against sorting, against sales of handout, against sales of textbooks. But teacher fires, they circumvent all these laws. How do they do it? They create class reps. They introduce homework. They introduce assignment. And what do? They will get these class reps to do all these things for them. And they will set the homework in the textbook they have written, so that will make you to buy those books. What does that mean? Teacher fire. Next slide. You see, it then shows you that a teacher fire does not have the interest of students at heart. His interest is what he will gain now. And if it is not monetary value, it is a sexual harassment. So, a teacher fire in our every towers casts dark shadow on our institutions. But then, we have a way of extinguishing them. Next slide. Yes. In this university, many laws have been put in place of how to extinguish teacher fire. In every exam period, I know that there's a committee that goes around to monitor how the exams are going. So, the most important way to extinguish this is that once somebody is caught, the person should not be spared. The law should take its proper course. Unfortunately, most of the teacher fires, when they sense they are being caught, they will run to ASU to accuse the students. So as they will transfer the fault now to the student. If they know that will fail them, they will run to their political godfathers to protect them. As if that is not enough, they will do like our politicians, go to court. And you know, when it is go to court, before the case will be decided, then the victim must have graduated. So, but I thank God that in this university, we are trying to see if we can get zero tolerance in teacher fires. Again, the luck we have is that NUC have introduced outcome-based education, OBE. If we implement it in all our institutions, teacher fires will be extinguished throughout the nation. Next slide. We have a choice. Incidentally, teachers in Nigeria, they are on crossroad. When you see the teacher fires, getting rich, especially with the economic realities in this country now, they make money from sorting, sales of grade. In fact, there are situations where I hear that grade A has a prize, B prize, C prize. The same thing with project writing. And most of them, when they get all this money, you see them with big cars. And you, that is a teacher candle, you'll be saying, these people are like this, I am like this. But I want to advise you, their days are numbered. What the things they are doing is being discussed in the marketplaces and motor parks. I'm a living witness. I'm not in the platform that organized this, but what they keep telling me is that it's my children that are doing those things. When I had the inaugural lecture, I knew the stress that left me. But this one, that is at this magnitude, I don't even feel the pain. So passing the torch, I want to tell of us here, Vice Chancellor sir, that I am convinced I have passed the torch of teacher candle to the younger lecturers in our faculty. When I was dean, there were bigotries in the faculty, but God helped us. We brought everybody together, diffused all the fashions, and pursued academics. They were neither Paul nor Silas. Everybody had a focus as a lecturer. And we continued in that aspect. With what happened, I've been able to produce more than 12 PhD graduates. With more than 40 masters. And when I became a dean, the first thing, because that time, the faculty offices in the faculty building, they were always being attacked regularly. Courtesy of Professor Blessing Didia, we were able to install protectors, and that seized that regular burgling of our offices till today. Such stories are gone. Because we became focused and united, I was able to produce 9 professors within my 4 years. It might interest you to know, sir, that before my deanship, we didn't have more than 4 professors in the department. The rest were either on contract or adjoints. And we had 7 departments with only about 4 professors. The rest were unadjoined. But God helped us. We were able to get additional 9 within that short period. It did not stop there, sir. You know, you assisted us to become the first faculty in this university that hosted international virtual conference. Before this time, we were squat in one room that we call a faculty conference room. And Prof, sir, you came and saw. And when we appealed to you to be given a conference room, you were able to approve a befitting conference hall for the faculty, well furnished, of which our conference hall is an epicenter of conferences. In fact, there was a time that a faculty wanted to host their faculty meetings. I invited them to go there and see. And they went there, they saw. They were surprised that Faculty of Engineering had such conference hall. And I'm sure that no faculty has the same hall as that of Faculty of Engineering. The one that law has is auditorium. Yes, that's auditorium. We have a conference hall. Next slide. Now, like the VC mentioned, before I came in, computer engineering was completely phased out. We lost it because we failed accreditation. But through the acting vice chancellor, their professor, Mrs. Owe, yes, she's here. Thank you very much, sir. We were able to resuscitate computer engineering. And now, we have a lot of students in that department now. Everybody is happy. The faculty is bubbling. And God even helped us. That God chose a replacement that was able to build on what we left behind, and the faculty is doing well. We did not end there. We introduced annual award back to back from 2019 to 2002. So we are having annual ceremonies and awards. We are honoring distinguished scholars and engineers in our society. And that is because the faculty, we are talking in one spirit and in one mind. Because where there is peace, there will be progress. And that is what we were able to achieve that time. Now, next slide. Next slide. Well, I will not tell you that there was no challenges. From my background, the challenges were there. Having come from the lab to the story building, if you go to Faculty of Engineering, lab is downstairs, and then the lecturers are upstairs. From the lab to upstairs, there will be this small boy. What can he do to be a head of department? And in fact, I was challenged. When I was a head of department, I would ask people, I will show them something to tell me. Go and read it up now. And that gave me a challenge to sit down and read the regulations very well. And I stopped asking anybody any question. And that is how I succeeded. And God even helped me. I became Senate Business Committee member With that, I was aware of what the rules and regulations of the university was. So I was no longer asking anybody any question because they were not prepared to answer me. So, even when I went to NDU, I was shuttling Port Harcourt NDU. The challenge was that some weeks I will not be with my family, and this I don't like. That is not my style. But God helped me, and God used Professor Blessing Didia, who ensured that I am being transferred back to River State. If not that, probably this valedictory lecture could have been in NDU. But God used Didia to make it happen here. I want to appreciate him. Unfortunately, he's not here today, but I know he's here with us in spirit. Next slide. The journey since 1981 was not an easy one, just as I said. Next slide. Yes. Next slide too. Next slide. I want to say that my journey has all been God. It has never been by my mind, by my power. It is God that has been ordering my steps, and God that has been guiding me. When I was going to NDU, I never knew I was going to meet friends like Professor Digo. But God placed them there to become my friend. And when I was made the rector, in fact, they wanted to make me a substantive rector. But because I wrote to the Ministry of Education that I am waterphobia, they now concluded no, conduct interview. It was that interview that saved my neck, that enabled me to come here. In all, it has been God. And I said, thank you very much. So, acknowledgement. My Vice Chancellor, sir, I want to appreciate the members of the Governing Council that are here. It's not easy to leave your tight shadows and be here, especially with the fuel situation we have now, and the fact that the economy is biting everybody. You left your tight shadows and you are here. I say thank you for coming. My heartfelt gratitude is extended to the Vice Chancellor of River State University, Professor Sunday Kobule, DSS ROS. Your relentless pursuit for academic excellence has placed this university at an enviable position that has remained attractive to both parents and their students. Many parents now desire to have their children enrolled in this university. Sir, your unwavering support for my faculty has been the fundamental of the success recorded in that faculty. We can attest that by the support you gave us in making sure that we have the state-of-the-art faculty of engineering conference hall. Your inspiring leadership led to the achievement of 100% back-to-back on NUC accreditation in the whole of this university. Since your insertion, we've been achieving 100% NUC accreditation. Like I said earlier, I will especially thank Professor Blessing Didia. He ensured that I was being transferred to this place. And that created the opportunity of being here to address you here. I want to specifically thank the chairman of the University Lecture Committee, Professor Hossein Okoima, for scheduling this lecture. His dedication, meticulous planning, and tireless efforts have ensured the smooth execution of this event. Your hard work and commitment are truly commendable. I am profoundly grateful for your contribution, sir. My capacity then, what will I not say about you? In fact, what happened was that my HOD was in my office. I told my HOD, see, I will be exiting, but I will want to do a small valedictory lecture. I said, no, Prof, don't call it small. Just go and tell the dean, we will know what to do. And when I mentioned it to dean say, Prof, go and sleep. We will handle it. And so it came to pass that we are here today. Capacity Dean, bravo. My head of department, the chairman of the valedictory lecture, Professor E.N. Igwe. Igwe in my language means heaven. I don't know what it means in your own language. But Professor Igwe has proved that he is heaven in earth by packaging this. The way he articulated everything, I was dazed when I came in here and saw what had been put in place. The state of the art ITC, in our own days, it was analog. In fact, it could have been slide rule that we use to ensure what is happening now. But see what they are packaged. God will reward all of you. What will I not say about the electrical alumni that said they are my children? While the faculty was doing their own thing, they were somewhere doing their own thing. And the convergence is where we are today. I say thank you. In fact, Vice Chancellor, sir, I'm the first person that the faculty has produced this for. So, anytime you see the faculty having a function here and you see this, know that it started from me. There's one man, I don't even see him. I've heard his name, but I've not seen him. That is behind the scene, doing all the calculations of what has happened here today. Victor, Bright Victor, I don't know. Is he here? The only person I know is Collins Yoloma. But there are other people behind the scene that I don't even know. I thank you all. The other community in River State, my friends from the Gideons International, Full Gospel Businessmen Fellowship. In fact, here could have been full. Two things affected this valedictory lecture. The current assembly, some people are still in Abuja. In fact, the dean had to rush down yesterday. Professor Igwe had to forego the assembly because of this. And in fact, Full Gospel Businessmen Fellowship, we are having our conference. Some of them at Abuja and some at the viewing center now. Otherwise, this hall couldn't have contained all of us. But I thank God for those that are here. I want to specifically thank the person that is going to review the book, Professor Emmanuel M. Adigo. It was just at a very short notice, extremely short notice, he accepted, and today he's here with his wife to review the book. Thank you for the love you have for me and my family and for this university. I know you opened your hand when I was in NDU and accepted me. Thank you for that love. Okay. I want to thank my friends from the old College of Science and Technology days. Engineer Dana Metire, Engineer Isaac S. Akobo, Mr. Dayo Moni, Professor F. Sigalo, and others that I cannot pencil down here. We are good friends. I equally want to sincerely appreciate the head of campuses, Professor D.I. Hamilton, Professor M.J. Ayotamno, Professor D. Chukwu, the Provost of Medical College, the serving and former deans of Faculty of Humanities, professors and staff of Ahoda campus, staff and students of Faculty of Engineering, and the entire university community. The support I got from you is overwhelming. I say thank you for all of it. I want to thank specifically the Obikon community led by His Royal Highness Eze CU Nkisa, the Ochohan Ebekutu of Obriko, and Engineer Edwin Nwokezi that are also here, Dr. Chris Obo that is unavailably absent, Chief Emeka Okoroma is here, my wife's family members led by His Royal Highness Uche Ogbuagu, the Ochoha of Oboland, and Engineer Clement A. Ogbuagu, who have all gathered here today for this event. Your presence is a testimony of the love you have for me. Thank you for joining me in sharing this momentous occasion. I would like to acknowledge everyone who has contributed in no small way to the success of this event. Engineer J.C. Okoroma, FNSE, Engineer B.E. Ujum, FNSE, Mr. Emeka Ochonogo, Surveyor Dr. A.O. Okwere, the diligent think tank committee led by Engineer Dr. Sonny Orike, Engineer Victor Bright, Engineer Collins Yeloma, Professor Justine, Engineer Dr. Charles Oji, Dr. S.N. Elozo, Engineer Dr. Berinaya Nkoi, Engineer Dr. Nelson Bogidi, Engineer Dr. Mrs. P.N. Ikenyere, Engineer Dr. Mrs. Adobe Alele, Engineer Dr. Ella Okowa, Engineer Dr. Bull Okpara Sergeant, Engineer Dr. William Ayama, Engineer Dr. Biobele Wokoma, Dr. Ngozi Ben Osaro, Engineer Beredeka Deson, Dr. Mrs. O.N. Adela, and numerous others. Lastly, to my family members, my brothers, my sisters, my beloved wife and children, your love, patience, and unwavering support have been my greatest source of strength. You have stood by me through every challenge and triumph, and I'm immensely grateful to you all for your sacrifice and encouragement. Your presence here today fills my heart with joy and pride. In conclusion, I am deeply honored and profoundly grateful to the overwhelming support and encouragement I've received from all of you here. My in-laws, the Ojums, the Adelas, the Peter West, and even the group that is my academic children. The Lord that saw me through in these 43 years of service in the university shall see you through in your various careers. You will all end well, with great favor from men and God. In my journey of life, I came across many destiny helpers. That the limitation of space in this monograph has constrained me from putting down all names. Whether your name is mentioned here or not, I sincerely appreciate all the assistance I got from you. God will reward you all. My colleagues in the faculty, both serving and retired professors, I thank you all for your immense contribution to the development of the faculty. Your labor shall not go unrewarded. To the younger ones, I say a very big thank you for the support I got from you through these 43 years in the university. Peradventure, I've stepped on your toes while discharging my duties, either as HOD, Dean, or even as head of campus. I hereby apologize. For such actions, exigencies of my duty demanded such actions at that time. Thank you very much. I remain blessed.
Thank you. You may have your seat. Congratulations, our valedictory lecturer, for the presentation. It's my pleasure to once again request the registrar to invite the Vice Chancellor for his closing remarks.
The Vice Chancellor, the Deputy Vice Chancellors, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I have the honor once more to respectfully invite the Vice Chancellor for his closing remarks. The Vice Chancellor, sir.
Thank you very much. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, all protocols duly observed, but not before recognizing the former acting Vice Chancellor of the University, Professor Mrs. Okwuchukwu, who is here with us. And let me also, in a very special way, recognize the former President General of Ahiakwo Convention, Professor Emenike Wame, former Mayor, former Rector, former Dean, former everything. You're welcome, sir. Thank you. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we have been thrilled by the valedictory lecturer today, and I can say without equivocation that we have really benefited from this lecture today. Let me say what we call a caveat. Let me just give a caveat. This valedictory lecture was not commissioned by the university. It was out of his experiences that he has spoken and given suggestions that will benefit the university system. I'm saying this because if you look at the tone of the presentation, he analyzed the challenges that we have in the system and even suggested the way forward, as if we asked him to do. It was a very, very brilliant presentation from the university. And he has categorized academics into two: the teacher candle and the teacher fire. So we now know where we belong. According to him, the teacher candle is a selfless and dedicated educator whose primary aim is to impact knowledge, nurture intellectual growth, and inspire students to reach their full potentials. That is basically why we are here as academics. On the other hand, the teacher fire burns with a fierce and destructive intensity, fueled by selfish ambition, greed, and a disregard for the well-being of his students. A teacher fire repels students by extorting money from them and sexually harassing female students. So you can see the difference. That was why the other lecturer, when the students, former students saw him, they were hiding. But the other one that did very well, that will actually impact on these students positively, so that by the time they leave, when decisions will be taken about us, because you don't know tomorrow, you will not be there. They will say, okay, if you collected money from this, that man, we have to settle him. So they don't count on you. So let us remain persons with integrity to ensure that we are recognized in future. He has suggested a multi-dimensional strategy, including education, accountability, and a zero tolerance against any kind of mistreatment or exploitation. As I said, it tallies with what we are doing as a university. By the grace of God, today we have two committees that are working. The Academic Ethics Enforcement Committee is in place to ensure that lecturers maintain the required academic ethics in the course of their assignment in this university. We also have another committee, the Independent Sexual Harassment and Offenses Committee, to deal with cases of sexual harassment in the university, to ensure that we have an environment where people can come to school and trust their children with us and ensure that nothing happens to them that is untoward. So, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we have benefited immensely from this lecture. I'd just like us to acknowledge the wealth of experience that he has exhibited this afternoon with a round applause for Professor Okwuchukwu. Thank you, and thank you. Let me also mention and acknowledge that he couldn't have achieved all this without the support of his family. And I recognize the wife of Professor Christopher Ahiakwo. Madam, okay, that's lady. We are talking about just a small time constraint. We are talking about a valedictory lecture by Professor Christopher, who is also a Knight of St. Christopher.
The Vice Chancellor, sir. Let me stand behavior in Cursus Canisianus, a member of the Zingeberesi, 1985. Thank you, sir. That candle is still on. Having said that, let me thank the Vice Chancellor for ensuring that this program is on consistently month to month. I also thank the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Academic Administration, Acting Registrar, the Dean of Engineering, the Orator, and the valedictory lecturer. I like to say this, and I quote from Shakespeare. It says, the world's a stage, and all the men and women mere players.
They have the exits and entrances. And one man in his time plays many parts. You have handed over the torch to your students and staff. You have done very well, and I want to wish you all the best in your future endeavors. Remain blessed, sir. We have the members of the governing council that are here, my friends. I thank you for coming. The former vice chancellors that are here, thank all of you, former registrar. I have former the head of campuses, dean of PG school, former dean of PG school, all deans, professors and directors. We thank all of you for coming. The next valedictory lecture is going to be on the 11th of September. That is Wednesday, 2025. We also have in September the 104th series of inaugural lecture on the 25th of September, 2024. You are all cordially invited. Thank you for coming, and God bless all of you.
The Vice Chancellor, sir, we've come to the end of part A of today's program, which is the valedictory lecture. The part B will kick off in a few minutes from now, but permit me to announce that the high table will rise. They will process art to have a group photograph with the valedictory lecturer, and thereafter we are going to commence the part B, which is the book launch. So please, shall we honor the high table? Please, can we rise? So we honor them. To invite the MC for the book launch. Please help me welcome Dan the Humorous. Please put your hands together for Dan the Humorous. Please appreciate him. A leading MC, a leading comedian in this nation, Dan the Humorous. Please, choir, just continue. Choir, continue with entertainment.
Thank you, choir. I'm still going to invite you in a few minutes. Don't worry. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome to the second phase of this celebration, where we are celebrating an academic icon in the person of Engineer Professor Christopher Okwuchukwu Ahiakwo. I know you had a great time with the lecture, and we have to swing in straight into the launch of the book. May I ask that apart from the seats that have the cards and where you have the choir, can we move forward a little bit? Those of us at the back, I see you, fine women and fine men. Please, let's come forward so that we can have a little warmth in the room. Izzy, is that you? Ha, this is your gray hair. Izzy, come forward small. Please, let's come forward. Let's come forward so that we can have a sizable feel of the room. And so that we don't, the program is very short. So the earlier we gather, the earlier we will be done with the celebration. Please come forward, madam. 2 women. Please come forward. God bless you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Please come forward. Come forward. Let's fill up all this real estate in front here. Sirs over there, you look like a royal father, sir. Your Highness, please come forward, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Sir, you're not left out. Please come forward. Come forward, sir. You, sir. Yes, you. I'm pointing you like a prophet that is seeing vision in church. Come forward, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Ushers or something, I think we need help with that door so that we're not distracted. We're not distracted with the activity outside. It affects the one inside. It's watching. Please, let's be seated. Thank you very much. It's 4:01. Let's gather ourselves for the next 4 minutes so that at exactly 5 minutes after 4, 5 minutes past 4, we will be kicking off. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your cooperation. Ushers, please ensure the doors are shut. Once people go past them, shut them so that we're not distracted with plenty of movement. I'm sure we all came out here to honor Prof. So let us all right, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we have about 3 minutes more. Wachi, let me know when we're at exactly 5 minutes past 4 to start. If you're just coming in, you're welcome. Please get yourself a seat. In a short time, we will be kicking off, and I will beg for the conversations to reduce a little bit. Let us have the calmness that we had during the lecture, because we're still in a very key moment. Thank you very much. Women of God, wonderful women, thank you, thank you. Wonderful ladies, thank you very much. This is my guy will help me close door. Now you can start conversation there. Thank you, thank you, thank you. In a few minutes we will be kicking off. If you're at the back, particularly on this side, please come forward. In fact, everywhere, if you're at the back and there are several rows in front of you, please do well to come forward so that we can have a reasonable feel of the room. It will not be good for the pictures. It will not be good for the message when we see these things like this. You know, let's have that same feel as we had with the lecture as well. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Is it 5 minutes past 4 now? Never reach. 1 more minute. Okay. Choir, thank you very much. At some point, I go sing again. This one, I don't need shop price already. Singing never finish. Oh. All right. Are we good? Are we good? 30 seconds to go. Eh? We're good. Somebody say let's go. Somebody say let's go from here. Now you? Okay, I thought somebody said let's go. 5 minutes on knock. All right. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon once again, and welcome to the second phase of this valedictory celebration of a very wonderful academic icon, a shining star of our time, a man that has traversed knowledge from one generation to the other, a custodian of intellectual content, particularly in the field of electrical power and renewable energy, the one that few hours ago gave us a very rich in-depth on the contrasting paths of teacher candle and teacher fire. And I believe particularly those of us who are, and when I mean those of us, I'm not involved, I'm just saying you people, those of you who are in the field of teaching, you have indeed transcended from being a fire, a candle. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, we are here to celebrate engineer Professor Christopher Okwuchukwu Ahiakwo. Please a round of applause. Don't get tired of celebrating a great man, because when it's your turn, people will also celebrate you. Now do something for me before we start. If you're sitting next to someone, take a look at them, greet the person sitting next to you. I know you've been here since morning, but greet them, greet your neighbor. Yeah, no, not far from you, the person next to you, greet them. Yeah, now do something for me. Tell that person what you're wearing. Tell them how much is what. And then let that person also tell you what they are wearing. How much is what. The shoe, the skirt, the trouser, everything. Have that conversation in 10 seconds. All right? Did he tell you? Did you tell them? Now clap for them according to how much they told you. That means if they are not clapping for you, it's all you mean you told them. Oh. So please put your hands together for yourself according to how beautiful you're looking this afternoon. Madam, you're not clapping at all, even for yourself. Are we quarreling? Madam, clap. You, madam in the aisle, clap. Yes. Yes, clap. Clap. If it's Odumejena, fear for don't catch you. Clap now. Well done. So on my flatmate known as Right Honorable Dan Chibike Wike or Wike Chibike, emphasis on the or. And I want to just say this real quick. I am here doing this in my capacity of doing my job, but also courtesy of one of Prof's students. one that you have imparted his life. I'll say this because without, when you're humble, but once you blow your trumpet, by the grace of God, I happen to be one of the top in my line of work. And I say that to say that our prizes do not come easy. And when this individual, and he said, is actually for my teacher, go and honor my teacher on my behalf. So just to say, Prof, you have indeed imparted lives and they have not forgotten. Thank you, sir. God bless you, sir. I'm just saying this so that you don't think that is RSU that brought me. They don't have the budget yet. And also to add as a surprise to this event, also from one of the people that have imparted, or that Prof has imparted, he also brought an extra, somebody as another student brought an extra package to bless our souls this afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome our very own dear sister, Mercy Chinwo. Yeah. The choir has Mercy's music. They will sing it for you later. Wow. Small teacher fire. You don't forget them now. You don't enter. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's now get into some serious business. Quickly, let me constitute the high table. Already seated is our chief host. Once again, a round of applause for engineer Professor Ahiakwo. Let me invite the book reviewer for this afternoon's event. He is the Vice Chancellor of the Nigerian Maritime University of Kerenkoko in Delta State. Please let's welcome Engineer Professor Emmanuel M. Adigio. Please a round of applause. Prof, sir, please to the high table, sir. Please, sir. A round of applause till he gets to his seat. All right. Can we have, where are the ushers? Have they closed? Okay, please. Just two of you will be fine. Thank you very much. All right. Next up to join on the high table, let me invite Dr. Danagogo. Please a round of applause for Dr. Danagogo. This is a list penned down personally by our celebrant, our host, Prof. So if your name is mentioned to the high table or to be recognized, just know that that is Prof directly reaching out to you. Also to join on the high table, let me invite Professor Okoli. Please a round of applause. Put your hands together. Let's welcome Professor Okoli. Thank you very much. To the high table, sir. Thank you very much. Also, a royal entity in our midst. Let me invite His Royal Highness Eze C.U. Nkise. Please a round of applause. Put your hands. Please keep the applause rolling. We are in celebration mode now. We have left classroom. We have left academics. Thank you. His Royal Highness, sir. Is His Royal Highness here? All right. Let me also invite Engineer B.E. Ojum. Engineer B.E. Ojum. A round of applause, please. And his wife. Thank you for that. Engineer and Mrs. B.E. Ojum. Welcome, sir. Welcome, ma'am. Actually, I even have the name already in the list. So it's actually Engineer and Dr. Mrs. B.E. Ojum. Please a round of applause. A round of applause as she comes to the high table. Ma'am, yeah, there she is over there. Thank you. I think ushers will still need another one or two more of you, if you don't mind. Thank you very much. Let me invite Honorable Nathaniel Waji. Please a round of applause for Honorable Nathaniel Waji. Please put your hands together. And also to join on the high table, let me invite Engineer Damini Ediri. I'll need correction. All right, please, a round of applause. Welcome, sir. Welcome, sir. Please keep put your. We are in launching mode now, so everywhere they hot. So yeah, exactly. All right. All right, let me quickly invite to the high table as well Engineer Dynamie Etire. Please, a round of applause. Oh, okay, you're already here. Welcome, sir. Let me invite the Dean of Engineering, Professor Apa. Please, a round of applause. A round of applause. The engineering department or the engineering faculty or the college is fully represented here with the presence of the Dean. I also have Chief Emeka Okoroma. Please, a round of applause for Chief Emeka Okoroma. A round of applause. Put your hands together. Put your hands together. And we also have Chief Sunday I.A. Ajoko. Please, a round of applause. A round of applause as well. And Venerable Innocent O.C. Please, a round of applause for these wonderful personalities. I'm sure they are somewhere in the room. Ushers, help me get them to the front, and let's get some more seats for them. Okay, we still have some seats available on the high table. All right, that's one of our guests coming in. You're welcome, sir. That's the Venerable, the man of God, coming in. Please, a round of applause for the man of God, or the men of God actually that are coming in. Yeah, this way, sir. This way, sir. You're in the right position. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as more guests come, as more recognitions happen, I will do very well to unfold as we proceed. Next up will be all right, I also like to invite to the high table the Prof, former Deputy Vice Chancellor Administration of the Rivers State University, Professor V.S. Okoroma. Please, a round of applause. Oh, sorry, Professor X. Okoroma. Please, a round of applause. Please, a round of applause. Thank you very much. Professor, former Deputy Vice Chancellor Administration, Professor. That's you, sir. Okay, ushers, please. Thank you. Thank you. All right. We will be kicking off the event in earnest with opening remarks, and then we'll go straight into the business of the book. But choir, just give us 3 minutes of your time just to get the room very warm enough for the business of the day. 3 minutes, one song, short, sharp, and sweet. Choir, let's go.
Lord,
Thank you very much, our lovely choir. Please a round of applause for them. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, we are going straight into the business. Let me quickly acknowledge the presence of the Dean, Faculty of Humanities, Professor Jones Jaja. Please a round of applause. A round of applause. And also very key recognition, our co-celebrant this afternoon, the wife of our valedictory lecturer, ladies and gentlemen, Mrs. Ahiakwo. Please a round of applause. A round of applause. Where's Madam? Madam not here? Madam, please come to the item. Now launching with it. We have left academic environment now. We have only professors we are sitting. Please come. Please a round of applause for the wife. Ushers, somebody please escort her up. I know why I say you should clap. Clap, please. Clap. Because there is no way Professor Ahiakwo would have achieved all of this if he didn't have a peaceful woman at home to read very well and study very well and research very well to the point of scholarly status. If you have a knife and not a wife, you will know. Thank you, ma. Thank you for giving us such a great husband, for pressing his back every night that he's reading. Staying up straight 22 out of 24 hours to study, you press it for the remaining 2 hours. Thank you, ma. All right. Before we go into the book review, the resident department of our valedictory lecturer, the Department of Electrical Engineering, led by the head of department, Dr. Amadi, they have a special presentation to do in honor of one of their very own. Right after this, we'll go into the book review. All right? Around. Thank you. All right? So these are engineers. Go straight to the business. No too much talk. They have something to give their lecturer. These are lecturers or students? Lecturers, okay. I for talk now because I see you now. Who make you lecturer? You're a doctor. Native. Special artwork has been done in honor. Wow, this is fantastic. Please a round of applause. This is beautiful. Please, you can all come on stage so that you can take a quick photograph. And some people should go to stand straight and come the other way. Distribute your charges, positive and negative. Now talk the small electrical one, no. Wonderful. Right? Oh, we have an overflow. That's good.
we remain your students. You remain our father. We thank God for your life. We thank God that you are alive to see today. We recognize you as a father of our great department, the very eye of the great university, University. In recognition of that, beside that, we are tagging you this crest forever, father of our department. We look forward to continuing to enjoy the teacher candle from you, even outside activities. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. You're welcome.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you, Obroma, sir. Bika. All right. Yeah. And just I like this quiet. Thank you, wonderful choir. All right, ladies and gentlemen, and now to the core of why we're here this afternoon. We have been hearing all day and for a long time that there is a book that has been written by our valedictory lecturer today. But before the book is unveiled, before it is presented to the world, and before we lay our hands on that piece of in-depth knowledge, someone has had the privilege of already having a peek into that work, and that individual will come to shine the light on this book that we will be launching in a few minutes, all the way from Okwuchukwu in Delta State. They've still not done road, sir. So they've not done road, I think. They've not done road. So he first came by boat. He crossed 7 rivers, 7 mountains, and went through East-West Road. Thank God the flood has not come to be here in person. The Vice Chancellor, Nigerian Maritime University, Engineer Professor Emmanuel M. Adigio. Please, a round of applause as he reviews the book. Would you want to come here, Prof, or there? Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
I think I would say I will stand on already established protocol because we don't have a lot of time. I'm highly honored to be given the task of reviewing a book written by an erudite professor of electrical power system and renewable energy in the person of Professor Christopher Okwuchukwu Ahiakwo, who we are here to celebrate. I am reviewing a book titled Nigerian Electricity Power Supply System and Renewable Energy Potential, authored by the celebrant Professor Christopher Okwuchukwu Ahiakwo, fellow Nigerian Institute of Engineers, fellow Nigerian Institute of Electrical and Electronic Engineers, fellow Nigerian Association of Technological Engineers. This book is an overview of the electric power of performance in Nigeria and the place of renewable energy in the society. This is how the book is. Inherent in the provision of electricity in Nigeria and activities that led to poor performance in the electric power sector, which include corruption. The book is in 2 parts. Part 1 dwelled mainly on power supply from fossil fuel and hydro power plants, presenting chronologically the several power stations and dams dotted all over the Nigerian nation. The author highlighted the maximum capacity of the power stations and their performance so far. The author emphasized that with the increase in population and improving economic life of the populace, the increase in electricity power needs put so much pressure on the nation, while sadly meeting the insufficient increase in investment in the power sector. The author also highlighted the efforts of the federal government to improve electric power supply, particularly in the unbundling of the power sector, generation, transmission, and distribution. The author cited that power generation started in Nigeria with private generators providing electricity for the colonial masters, which were operated and managed by the Public Works Department, PWD. Changes that followed the establishment of the process are all covered in the first part of this book. Readers will be able to follow in this book the agencies that were involved in the power generation, transmission, and distribution before the present policy of privatization of the electric power sector in Nigeria. The part 2 is an overview of the possibility of the introduction of renewable energy in Nigeria. This part outlined the concepts of renewable energy and also cited the sources of this energy in Nigeria. In this part, readers will find the extent the federal government of Nigeria and individuals have performed the introduction of renewable energy. Emphasis was laid in the possibility of connecting the renewable energy, particularly from solar and or wind, to the national grid, which is the practice in the developed countries. The book contains efforts the federal government of Nigeria has made to engineer the increased use of renewable energy in Nigeria via several policies. Ladies and gentlemen, this book is a must-read for anyone that is interested in the history and reform of electric power in Nigeria, challenges of the development of the sector, and the possibility of introducing renewable energy in Nigeria. This book is easy to read, small but packed with useful information. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Please, a round of applause. I'm sure, the reviewer aptly put out in his title, Nigerian Electric Power Supply System and Renewable Energy Potential. So our author wrote something that was definitely close to home with him, and also a very stagnant problem that has refused to leave us. And that book doesn't just come with stating the problems, but also the solution. So please, let's give a round of applause once again to that. And of course, you know that the power problem in this country, it has not just stayed so long, but it has also spread its wings. If you remember, almost the Gen Z will not know this story, but there was a time when Obasanjo was president, and the then U.S. President Bill Clinton, came for a state visit, and we were young children watching the state gala night at the presidential villa, and live on NTA there, NEPA took light in Aso Rock. And the story I heard years later when I grew older was that Bill Clinton was so furious. And he said, Obasanjo, why is your country behaving like this? Even when you're hosting the U.S. president, you still took light in a presidential villa? And if you know Obasanjo very well, he's very petty with some wisdom. So later that year, Obasanjo was in New York for UN General Assembly. And instead of him to be in the General Assembly listening to UN discussion, he was moving around the whole of New York looking for where there is no light. And fortunately for him, Obasanjo saw a building where there was no light indeed. From there, he called. He said, Bill Clinton, come and steal before you will finish me. Even you too, you don't have light in New York. Bill Clinton strolled there and said, what's going on here? There's no light. He called the director of Homeland Security. Find out who has that building, who is embarrassing our nature. They got back to him. Mr. President, that's the Nigerian embassy. The problem full laws go everywhere. All right. We are now going into the lunch proper. Let me invite the first amongst many of us who will be unveiling and launching this book in the capacity of the chief launcher this afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, Engineer B.E. Ojum. Please a round of applause. Can we have the books to unveil it? That's the idea. Okay. Okay, there's no. Okay, so you do it there.
That's fine. Let me respectfully invite my wife, Dr. Mrs. Ikoma Ojum, to please come and assist me in unveiling this book. I also wouldn't want it to be a family affair. I have a very close friend on that high table, a medical doctor par excellence, somebody we knew for over 30 years. And I have the privilege of sitting with him for the very first time on exalted table like this. Can I please respectfully invite Dr. Danagogo to please come?
Doctor. Yes, sir.
He's been our doctor for a very long time. Very knowledgeable doctor. Thank you, sir. Well, this duty is a very simple one. Even though I'm standing in for the chief launcher or the unveiler of the book. But when it has to do with exercises like this, especially for an erudite scholar, a very brilliant personality, an engineer by excellence, a professor of electrical engineering, option in power, I will have the privilege to do this. And I say thank you. I'm seeing this book for the very first time. I didn't have as much privilege as the reviewer to go through the book. Through, he's seen the color, he's seen the inside, and he's seen the full content of this book. And because he said it, he said that this book should be in the shelf of every person that is here and even beyond here. I also concur with what he has said. The power issues in Nigeria is something, if we continue to discuss here, we may not leave this place today. But I want to believe that this book titled Nigeria Electric Power Supply System and Renewable Energy Potentials will definitely provide solution to the issues of power in Nigeria. And not only in Nigeria, in West Africa as a whole. I'm saying this because whatever happens in Nigeria radiates to all the countries around us, especially the West Coast. I was in Accra for a conference like this, and we were just joking or talking about ourselves. And they said we are younger brothers to you. But we told them emphatically, copy the good ones you have seen in Nigeria, but don't copy the other ones that is giving us problem. We all laughed. And that's exactly what's happening. So without wasting so much time making speeches for a book written by a professor, I think I will unveil this book in the name of God the Father, of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. My wife is here assisting me. We will take 5 copies for ₦500,000 naira. I don't want to burden my doctor so much, but I will give him this microphone to just say something.
Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Today I have been... Well, we were expecting that with the fire burning on somebody's head in the book, in the pictures, whether Professor will call down thunder. And he did. For the lecturers who are collecting money from their students, he gave them a name. And for those who are imparting knowledge, he gave them a name. I, being a medical doctor, I had A1 in mathematics and A's in physics and other things. I had a C in biology, so you can see what happened. My mother said she got pregnant before she had standard 6. So because of that, her son must read. And if they want to force you to read, you must read medicine. Is it not so? If they want you to read, they say you must be a doctor. That's how I studied medicine and became a rural doctor and landed in Omok. Many people who are from Omok here know me. I went to Omok in 1981 and remained there until Don Juan chased me out. I'm here because Professor is somebody we love. And I'm so happy. So I launched this book with, it's not a widow's mite, with what I have, by 100,000. It's here, transfer it immediately. Thank you very much, and God bless you all.
Thank you very much, sir. Please a round of applause for Dr. Danagogo. Please hand a copy to him. And okay, Engineer Ojum already has a copy. Thank you very much. Wow. Since 1981 in Omok. Wow. Phenomenal, phenomenal. Please a round of applause for your brother. Yes. And please, that thing that doctor said is for only him. Don't go and now say something. They not tell them, that way do Dr. Dana go do me. Oh, I don't forget to. Oh. No. It doesn't apply to you. So please. And once again, thank you to our chief launcher, Engineer Ojum, and Dr. Mrs. Ojum. Please a round of applause. Please, I will need some copies and microphone so that we'll first take it through the high table and then we'll bring it to the room. But before that, as part of your former students, Prof, sir, that are showing you great support, there is a pledge from Mr. Emeka Ochonogo for 1 million naira. And there is also a bulk purchase for all 980 students of the electrical engineering department. All 980 of them. Clap now. All of them get 1 copy. Pull up first. Okay, start. Just did there first. And all of this is coming at a cost that has been pledged and redeemed soon. 7,840,000. And this is from Engineer Etokodo. Please a round of applause. When I see this kind of donation, that is down to the last 1,000. I know that Engineer Tokodo is a member of Labour Party. If not, if you don't reach here, just make an 8 million now. May you're around. All right. So we will quickly do with the members of the high table, and then to the distinguished persons we have here that didn't have chance to come to the high table, and we'll take it up from there. By the way, I've been told that staff of the electrical engineering department, you have a special photograph to take in a specially arranged place outside. So please do well to stay until the end of this. We don't have much that we're doing. After the lunch, it will just be words of appreciation from the author, and we're on our way out. So, Chief, sir, I will start with you, sir. So please, you give each of them one copy as they launch.
I'm highly excited for what my boyhood friend has done today. I thank God for that. I thank God for the lecture, and I thank God for his life. Well, I won't bore you with stories. The business here is to launch the book. And my Oga here, this doctor who spoke, he says he's 76, but I'm 72. Okay, I'm also almost 80. So I cannot, I'm retired 19 years ago, but I'm so happy with this. I want the account number too. I'll launch with only 50,000.
Dr. Ma. Please, someone should be bringing the account details immediately. Huh? Please.
I thank God for Chris. Chris is a reliable person. When you are doing something with him, just trust that he will handle it well. And I believe that he has also handled this book well. As he said, it was almost his senior, my first son. But he was almost the first son of the family. And he never forgets that, even though my husband is late, Professor Sirima. So, my children, my two sons are supposed to be here. I've been calling him, he said he's still in the office. The other one in Aji won't be able to be here. But on behalf of all of us, let me just launch with a sum of 200,000. And I have a check of 30,000 here. Remaining, I pledge 170 on behalf of the family.
Your sons.
Praise the Lord.
Okay, so that is 370 in total from the 370, man. 200. You said 200 before and 170. Okay, inside. Okay. Thank you, man. It's broken for easy disbursement. And that's from Dr. Sirima herself. Once your sons come, you will do their own. All right. Sir.
Okay, thank you very much. My name is Daniel Mitire. Prof is my very good friend from the old CST days. And since then, my family and Chris's family have known one another up to now. So I'm happy. What I will do is I need the account number, and I will transfer an undisclosed amount.
Undisclosed amount. So the account but I can assure you, once the thing enter, the account will shake. The account officer will call, Prof, are you okay? Because me, I'm shaking here. Sir.
Well, I'm Professor Bosa Okoli. I believe it's God that planned my being here with my dear wife. I'm not an engineer. My field is genetics, biological sciences. But I don't know how God put my thoughts, my knowledge in engineering. My first son graduated as an electronic engineer. What I'm saying this is, what light are we seeing now? Is it electricity? Is it NEPA? This is solar power. Am I right? It's not solar. Well, please, this is what I'm speaking at the Spirit of God listening. Nigeria is in trouble because we are not utilizing the resources God has given us. If you read Genesis chapter 1, you see what God created. All sorts of things. If you go to Israel, they don't have fuel the way we have. They use what? Solar. I was in Israel 2011 when I was forced to retire. God took me to Israel, and I saw solar energy everywhere. When I went to India, they didn't have petroleum. What were they using? What is called biodiesel and also bioelectricity. Thank God, I was so happy to see many engineers. We need bioelectricity. We need solar electricity, electricity power. Okay? So even if it's the only reason I'm here, my dear brother, I'm happy you're a child of God. God is using this VALEDICTORY lecture to open our eyes. We are not using what God has given us. When you use palm oil to fry, and you don't want it again, add methanol to it. It becomes what? Biodiesel. With biodiesel, you can drive your car, you can drive motorcycle, you can operate generator. So, well, I won't take more time now. I'm so glad to be here. I believe it's God that made it possible. I've known this, my brother, in the Gideon's International, serving God. When God calls you into a ministry for a purpose, so I'm so glad seeing him on this day. So the bottom line is, I would also like to have the account number. I'll do a transfer to support what God is already doing. All glory and honor to our faithful God.
Thank you. And so, by the way, the account number will be displayed on the screen so that for those of you looking at the screens, you can also make your quick transfers as well. I think, Professor Digo, sir, you have done enough by reviewing. Okay. All right. So, finally, the height of Venerable, sir. Yes.
Please, all protocol duly observed. We will support the launch of this book with a sum of 20,000 naira.
Thank you, sir. And also, I saw a note from Professor Okoroma for 50,000 naira. Please, a round of applause. Where's my microphone, brother? So please help me come down. Let's talk. If you want the microphone man to come to you, yes, please.
Chairman of this occasion, my name is Jones Michael Jaja. Professor Ahiakwo is my boss. He's the head of my campus. Consequently, I'm representing Ahoda campus. And our faculty will support this with a sum of 50,000 naira.
Thank you, sir. All right. So let's just choir is only by singing. Yeah. All right. Microphone man. Choir one lunch. No, give him a copy now. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, come now. Just be moving. That's the fine ladies, particularly the one in red. My family. Yeah, support the family now. All right, come. Come to the gentleman in blue.
Let me stand on already established protocol. My name is Adiola Uche Peters. Prof, you have done very well. You have exhibited academic intelligence. You have done greatly for humanity by contributing immensely to knowledge. I'm very proud to be associated with you. By the way, I'm the son-in-law to Professor Ahiakwo. I want to, on behalf of the entire IDLAX family, support the launching of this embodiment of knowledge in form of a book with the sum of 200,000 naira.
Yes, now I understand when you say you have benefited from the family. goes beyond academics.
My name is Engineer Okwuchukwu Engr. I'm standing on behalf of the Nigerian Society of Engineers Omok branch and on behalf of myself. So first, my chairman, Engineer Dr. Vincent Nadi, who is unavoidably absent, has asked me to launch on behalf of the branch the sum of 50,000 naira for 2 books. And then for himself, 50,000 naira. When I saw the title of the lecture, the valedictory lecture, the contrasting parts of teacher candle and teacher fire, in fact, my mind went through several things. But today, I want to commend Prof for this inspiring lecture, for doing justice to it, and for distilling the topic very, very well. Prof, congratulations. Prof was my teacher. In 1999, Prof taught me marine electrical technology. Prof is also my mentor. I want to launch with a sum of 50,000 naira.
All right, I hope we have record. Okay, anyway, cameraman is here. Don't let your film finish.
Thank you. My name is Chimenenda. I am here to support our boss, the Adela, and I'll be doing that with a sum of 10,000 naira.
Thank you very much. All right, okay. There's a gentleman here, sir. Yes, you, sir.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Engineer Felix Ojum. I'm so happy to be here also. I have my elder brother and my mom there, and Dr. Nagogo. He operated me ruptured appendicitis in 1984 at Omok. And our prof is more or less a father, an elder brother, and everything joined together, my mentor. He taught me machines, he taught me power systems in 1993 or 94 while I was there in the school. And when I was finishing, one of my projects was the problems of generation of electric power generation in Nigeria by NEPA. And he guided me so much. I was going to AFAM every Wednesday for 1 year to get their daily log from the NCC at Oshobo. He guided me to get one of the best projects that we had as at that time. So I'm so close to him and emotionally tied to him. On this note, I want to launch this book. I want to buy for some people, my head of department and some of my colleagues in the office. It's a book that we are going to treasure. Let me get 4 copies for 150,000 naira.
Thank you, sir. All right. Do we have anybody around this axis? Please just show your hand so that the microphone man can come to you. Okay, okay, sir. Yes, sir.
Chairman, sir. I want to use this opportunity to congratulate my twin brother of different mothers. That is what Professor Ahiakwo is to me. And when you gave me this invitation, we were talking about contrasting parts of teacher candle and teacher fire. And I was discussing with the Vice Chancellor, what does he really mean? He said, when I come today, he will tell me. And he has told me that teacher candle is those of us who were teachers of those days, old school. And the teacher fire appears to be the new school. I pray that the new school should imbibe the principles of the old school and be teacher candles and not teacher fire. I'm very happy for this effort. I will want to support this effort with 50,000 naira.
Thank you, sir. Okay. Where did you see that hand again? Yeah, over there. Oh, thank you, ma'am.
Wow. Let me stand on the existing protocol. I really want to appreciate the author and the celebrant for today. He's a special family friend, and just few minutes before he commenced the lecture we were discussing. So I thank God for Teacher Fire and Teacher Candle. I was telling him that Teacher Candle refers to the old school teachers, and Teacher Fire refers to the Gen Z teachers. That's what I heard. I didn't know about Gen Z. They said Gen Z is the new generation, so they are the teacher fires. But we are praying with this lecture to all of us who have learned. Let all of us be teacher candles. We are supposed to impart knowledge. We are supposed to eliminate ignorance and remove ignorance. So having said that, don't mind this long speech will not equate the money I want to give. But I'll just give my little, I'll make the transfer. However little, only one book. Thank you very much.
All right, yes. So your hand has been up for a long time.
My name is Engineer Dr. Tony Oko. Standing on the existing protocol, I really want to appreciate the author, the celebrant, the lecturer today. Prof have said that he has mentored and graduated 12 students, 12 PhD students in this place. I'm happy to announce that I'm one of the 12 PhD students that have benefited from his knowledge. In fact, in 2004, when I wanted to do my master, he did everything to ensure that I got the admission to do the masters in this place. And eventually, in those days, it wasn't as easy as it is now. Graduated in 2009 with a master degree. He encouraged me again. In fact, he was the lead supervisor for my PhD program, and I graduated with a PhD in power system in 2020. I give God all the glory for his life. I'm immensely grateful for his family, for everything that they have done to me. In fact, I cannot say everything Prof have done to me has been everything to many of us in this hall and beyond. I will support the launch by getting a copy of the book for 100,000 naira.
Good evening, all. My name is Mr. Ahiakwo Chima, and we are here today in celebration of the patriarch of the Ahiakwo family. The man we are talking about is the father of us all, who has impacted our lives in so many ways. We cannot even begin to talk about all that he has done for his family, which is us that are here today. So it is with a deep sense of appreciation, a deep sense of joy and excitement that we, his younger ones, his sons and daughters, are supporting the event with the sum of 50,000 naira with great joy. Thank you.
All right. Okay. Please, no. Before you go there, sir, you will come back. See, there's a hand there. No, come 1 minute. 1 minute. Okay, 1 minute. Come first. There's a group of hands here. Then we'll now swing back. So please, because of time, try as best as possible to limit the introduction of your launching. So these are the student friends of Prof, led by Vincent Epele.
Good evening, all. Standing on existing protocol, Prof, we are to so much, sir. We are his students, friends, and as a group, he has impacted so much on our individual lives at different times. So we are happy to be here today to celebrate a great man. In our group, we were able to make a little contribution of 5 million naira. out of which we have done a lot of logistics from there and also supported in organizing. So at the end, we have a little balance of about 300,000 naira to transfer. Thank you so much.
Okay, you didn't donate the 5 million. You gather the 5 million, then take 20 million.
In my life and family. So on behalf of this.
All right. I think there was the man in pop. Yes.
Good evening, all.
Yeah.
My name is Prince Will. Of my wife and I make a donation of 10,000 naira. Thank you so much.
Of this book for 10,000. Then
I'm actually buttressed the point that we can make it through the good way. So I say, may God bless the Prof. Hallelujah.
Yes, sir.
For the Obricom Improvement Union, who are from Obricom here, that Professor Ahiakwo is a community builder, is a bridge builder, and I've served on that behalf. I'll say for public. I've taken note of the account.
All right.
Gift. Prof has always been a source of encouragement to me. I will launch the book.
We'll support the launch with some
people from Bayelsa State. The person referred to is to what happened was look for another person. And we're living together, command, because your credentials are more than the other people. Praise the Lord. And so I cannot keep quiet, but to do something here, Prof, transfer 20,000 naira. God bless you.
All right, so yes.
Candle teacher. Candlelight teacher. With 15.
We go back. Yes, just line by line like that.
Is Mrs. Joyce Okwuchukwu, on behalf of my husband that is unavoidably absent, he asked me to come and represent him. Lunch with.
Go fast. Sorry.
Of all the Obuagos, the book